Alright, hello everyone, Edge Runner Gaming HD, and welcome to another discussion video here for the channel. Today, I'm going to be talking about a news story that I saw earlier this morning that just absolutely blew my fucking mind. This is a news story that took place in East Nashville, Tennessee, stemming back to over a year ago, and we're just hearing about it now because there's a current lawsuit going on involving said individual and the store you see here in the picture, Walgreens. Now, I'm going to play the video here, and then I'm going to give my thoughts afterwards, but you have to see this to believe it. Anyways, roll the footage. This is straight from News 2 from Nashville, Tennessee.
A store employee shot a pregnant woman who police said was shoplifting, and now she is suing Walgreens. Thank you for joining us for News 2 at 4. I'm Mark Kelly. That woman and her baby survived the shooting. The lawsuit accuses Walgreens of not properly training that employee who shot at her at a location in East Nashville. It was on Gallatin Avenue. News 2's Kenley Hargett reports.
Unloading a clip into a 7-month pregnant woman.
Almost a year after 25-year-old Trayvontia Ferguson was shot, her attorney says she and her son Raheem are still recovering. According to police, Ferguson was 7 months pregnant at the time, and an employee who believed she and another woman were shoplifting approached them in the store's parking lot. The employee claims one of the women pulled out a can of Mace and began spraying him. He then pulled out a pistol and started shooting, claiming he didn't know if either one of them had a gun and it was in self-defense.
And now Walgreens is going to be held accountable because we handle these cases all across the country. And what we have found out is a lot of times companies are using their own workers as security.
Ferguson did not speak, but her mother expressed the challenges she and her son have faced since the incident.
Right now, she's suffering with pain. And, I'm restless from, just having to wake up in the middle of the night with the baby and still be there to comfort her. So it hasn't been good at all.
The lawsuit against Walgreens claims the company did not properly instruct, train, and supervise the employee. Also, the company failed to have adequate loss prevention policies and procedures. According to Davidson County criminal clerk records, Ferguson was charged for assault and theft of $1,000 or less.
We won't be commenting today on those charges. Right now, they appear to still be pending, possibly. They may have been dropped already, which we're hoping that they were. But we think she has enough to deal with bullet fragments still in her body.
Coming up at 6, what Ferguson's attorney shared about the family's injuries. Mark?
Kenley, thank you.
Man, I got a lot of things I want to say about this story. First off, to the 7-month-old pregnant woman. And by the way, keep in mind, she was 7 months pregnant at the time of her doing the shoplifting. This was over a year ago. She's already had the child by now. So, this was over a year ago. She was at the time 7 months pregnant. I can understand times are hard, okay? Trust me, I know. I know times are hard. I know inflation is through the roof. I know that the prices of everything is just going up and up and up and up and up. I understand that, and I completely get it. However, that doesn't make it right for you to do what you did, going into the Walgreens and shoplifting. I can understand if you went in there to steal a few items, like maybe a loaf of bread or some milk or something like that, or even baby clothing. I could completely understand that. Doesn't make it right, but I can understand it. However, according to the federal charges that were pressed against you, according to the criminal charges that were pressed against you, you supposedly, with a friend with you, stole close to $1,000 or less in the Walgreens store. I'm just sitting here thinking to myself, why does a pregnant woman have to steal close to $1,000 worth of stuff from Walgreens. Again, I emphasize, I can understand if it's like a little bit of food, some baby clothing. I can understand that. Doesn't make it right, but I can understand it. You, however, have criminal charges against you and your friend for up to $1,000. 1,000 US dollars. That pretty much tells me you didn't go in there just for your baby. You went in there for yourself too. You went in there and probably stole makeup, perfume, really expensive shit. I mean, you had to have stole quite a lot in order to get somewhere even near the $1,000 range. And I know they say or less, but even still, the fact that they said $1,000. $1,000. First of all, I'm trying to rack in my head, what exactly could you have stole that could have racked up to $1,000 at a Walgreens? Walgreens ain't Walmart. They don't have TVs and, a whole bunch of electronics and stuff. They're not a super mega corporation. They're not Walmart. They're not Target or anything. But they are perhaps the biggest pharmacy in the United States. They're easily the most well-known. Like, if you ask people to name the number one pharmacy in the United States off the top of people's head, they're going to say Walgreens. But anyways, you and your friend stole close to $1,000 of stuff from Walgreens. There's no excuse for that. I have no remorse or sympathy for you about that. That was disgusting and that was fucking wrong. If you would have stole maybe a loaf of bread or baby clothing, I could understand, the struggle. I could understand what you're going through. Hell, the worker themselves might have actually offered to help you out. Now, they probably still would have called the cops on you, but maybe you would have got off with a lighter charge. Maybe you would have got off a little bit lighter. But the fact that you and your friend did what you did, and I'm not even getting into what happened with the employee yet. I'm just talking about you stealing from the Walgreens. $1,000. Shame on you, and also fuck you. And you had a friend with you. You had a friend with you. Why? I can understand if you're struggling and you're stealing food or something, but you had a friend with you helping you supposedly shoplift throughout the Walgreens. Why? Couldn't do it by yourself? You just couldn't do it by yourself? You had to have somebody there to help you out? Why? So when I hear that, first thing I think of is, you went in there to shoplift more than just stuff for your child. Okay. Now, let's get on to the employee. To the employee, whoever you are, that was working for Walgreens, keyword was, because I'm pretty damn sure you're not working there anymore. I'm pretty sure you've lost your job. We are always told at all our jobs. I was told this when I was working as a dishwasher. A fucking dishwasher at a dine-in restaurant off the interstate. Not even having anything to do with retail, but they still taught me this regardless. Rule number one when it comes to shoplifters, when it comes to people who steal from a restaurant, from a store. Unless it's a family-owned store and the owner has a gun or something to defend themselves, which that's understandable. Unless it's a family-owned store, if it's just a major corporation or something like that. Rule number one, do not interfere or try to stop the shoplifter from doing what they're doing. You either call security, you call loss prevention, or you call the cops. Do not engage, do not interact with, do not try to stop a shoplifter. You don't know if they have a gun on them. You don't know if they have a knife on them. You don't know if they have a weapon on them. You don't know if they're going to assault you or if they're going to try to kill you. I was told when I was working at the restaurant, if you see somebody stealing something from the restaurant, report it to us. Do not deal with it yourself. Do not try to stop the individual from doing what they're doing, because you're putting yourself at harm's risk. Why I'm saying this is because this fucking dumbass, this stupid fucking idiot, decided to take it upon themselves to go out into the parking lot and try to stop these two women from getting away with shoplifting from the Walgreens. You violated your safety protocol. You put yourself at risk. You put them at risk. You put everybody around you at risk. You don't know if those individuals have a gun, if they have a knife, if they have a weapon on them, if they're going to assault you. You don't know that. You should have been told, do not interact, do not engage with the shoplifter. You call security, you call loss prevention, or you call the cops. Do not interact with the individual. Do not engage with the shoplifter. Do not try to stop them from shoplifting. You run out into the parking lot to engage with them. They assault you with a can of mace. You pull out your gun in self-defense and you fire several shots at them while blinded in the face with mace. Idiot. Brain dead fucking idiot. Not only have you cost yourself your job, not only did you put yourself at harm's risk, not only did you put them at harm's risk, not only did you put the people around you at harm's risk, not only did you lose your job, you just put the company that you were working for into a major class action lawsuit. Now, I didn't hear any criminal charges being brought up against the employee. All I heard is that they're suing Walgreens. They're not suing the employee, they're suing Walgreens. The employee, I'm assuming, doesn't work there anymore. I would be baffled if they're still working at Walgreens after that, because then Walgreens would be violating, they would basically be violating labor laws at this point, and safety laws, which would definitely not only get them a class action lawsuit by said individual suing them, they would be sued by the government. Because you're violating government law. You're violating labor laws. You do not send your employees after shoplifters. You do not engage with shoplifters unless you are security, unless you are loss prevention, or unless you are a police officer or something to do with law enforcement. If you're just a regular 9 to 5 employee or a 7 to 3 employee, whatever hours you work throughout the day, do not engage with the shoplifter. Do not. You could say, hey, I recommend you don't do that. That's the most that you could probably say. Hey, I recommend you don't really do that. You're going to get the cops called on you. You're going to get in trouble. Okay, you want to say something like that? That could maybe be tolerable. But when you're going out running into the damn parking lot trying to stop these people from stealing from the store, at that point, they've already stole the stuff. Just let them go. Just let them fucking go. Go back in. Call the cops. Have the cops come down. Show them the tape. File a report. Cops go after the individuals and arrest them for theft. That's all you have to do. It's that simple. You took matters into your own hands. So, just like with the women, fuck you too. And my final point, Walgreens themselves. You are the biggest pharmacy in the United States. You have locations all over the place. Hell, there's a Walgreens literally 30 minutes away from where I live. 30 fucking minutes away from where I live. I've been to it quite a bit. I used to get my medicine there when I used to get prescription medicine. I used to get my prescription medicine from Walgreens most of the time. I grew up on Walgreens when I was a kid, growing up in Indiana. I grew up with Walgreens. I went to Walgreens all the time when I was a kid. 1, for my medication. 2, to shop. I love Walgreens. I will always love Walgreens. I don't shop there, but I always have a fondness for that organization, for that store. I will always love Walgreens. Unless, of course, they do something that really pisses me off to where I don't want any association with them at all. But just because I love your store doesn't mean that you're safe from scrutiny. That doesn't mean that you're safe from not being called out. Of course you're going to get called out. Why in the fuck did you hire an employee and not teach them not to engage with shoplifters? Now, if you did, and he still violated the rule anyway, that is on them. If you didn't teach them, then that's on you and them. You are a multi-billion-dollar organization. You should always teach your employees when you hire them about shoplifters. Rule number 1, and the most important rule of all when it comes to shoplifters: do not try to stop shoplifters from shoplifting. Don't do it. If it's a family-run business, as in you own the business, hey, you know what? Fine and dandy. If you own the business, if it's a family-run business, if you want to stop them from robbing your store, like let's say like a family-run gas station. We've all heard the stories of people trying to go into gas stations, trying to rob gas stations that are family-owned, and the owner pulls out a fucking weapon on them. We've all heard those stories. Something like that I can completely understand, okay? Something like that, it's understandable. But when it's Walgreens, I'm pretty darn sure the employee that was working at Walgreens was not family with the people that owned Walgreens. I'm pretty sure it was just some random nobody off the fucking street. You should have taught this individual not to engage with shoplifters. If you did teach them and they broke the rule anyway, again, that's on them. And now, because of the actions of said employee, you have a class action lawsuit filed against you. And what's even worse is that if further investigation comes along and we find out that you didn't teach the employee these rules, not only are you going to be facing a lawsuit from said individual suing you, you could be facing a lawsuit from the government itself for violating the law, for putting employees' lives at danger, for not informing your employees not to engage or interact or try to stop a shoplifter from shoplifting. This whole situation is so fucked up. It's so fucked up. Everybody's in the wrong. Everyone's in the wrong. The woman is in the wrong. The employee is in the wrong. The store, Walgreens itself, is in the wrong. Everyone is in the wrong. And I love how her attorney, when they asked him about the charges of theft, he's like, oh, we're not going to discuss that right now. Why? The charges are there. Whether she wins the court case or not, whether she gets a settlement, the charges are still there. She's going to be most likely banned from all Walgreens locations in the U.S. I mean, if Walgreens actually does settle out of court, or let's say this actually does go to court and she ends up winning, yeah, she'll win a large sum of money, but she'll be banned from the store. She'll never be allowed to be inside of Walgreens ever again. No Walgreens is going to want to associate with somebody like that. You don't steal from a Walgreens, assault an employee, file a class action lawsuit from to Walgreens, possibly win in a settlement or a court case, and get away with Walgreens not retaliating in some way, shape, or form. They're going to ban you from their stores. They're 100%, I promise you, 100%, they're going to ban you from all their stores. You put your child at risk. You put your 7-month-old child that was still in your fucking belly at risk. If he would have actually hit you, or actually, scratch that, he did hit you. Now that I remember correctly, he did hit you with a couple of bullets. Number one, you should be lucky that you're even alive. Not many people live through gunshot wounds. You should be thankful that you're even still with us. Number two, you should be thankful that your child is alive. What if your child would have died there? Let's say you didn't die there, but he shot you in the stomach and your child passes away. Now, you have to have an emergency abortion. Good luck with that. Because Tennessee laws are really strict on abortion. Good luck with that. And why do you have to have an emergency abortion? Because you got shot in the stomach by an employee who should not have engaged with you at all, because your dumbass decided to go into a Walgreens and steal. You're at fault. Whether you want to admit it or not, you're at fault. Everyone is at fault here. Fuck the woman for putting her child in danger and putting herself and so many other people in danger by stealing from Walgreens. Fuck your friend for spraying the employee in the face with a can of mace. Fuck the employee for coming out and trying to stop you from shoplifting by actually going into the parking lot and trying to interact with you and trying to engage with you. Fuck them. Fuck Walgreens too. Fuck them all. This story really pisses me off. When I heard it, I was like, everyone's at fault here. There is no good ending to the story at all. Even if she wins in a court case or a settlement, that's still not a good ending. You stole. You committed thievery, theft. That is wrong. What you did was wrong. And I can't defend you on that. Again, I reiterate back to what I said earlier. If it was something small, like maybe a loaf of bread or something, I still think it would be wrong, but I could somewhat understand it. Hell, the employee might have had pity for you. They might have just fucking let you go. They'll probably tell you, don't do it again. We'll let you go this time, but don't do it again. Hell, the employee could have offered to buy the damn thing for you. The employee, she could have been like, hey, I understand you're going through hard times. Please don't steal from the store again, or I'm going to have to call the cops. This time, I'll pay for it out of my pocket. I understand you're hurting. I'll pay for it out of my own pocket to help you. But please don't do it again, because if you do it again, I'm not helping you out. And I'm going to have to contact the authorities. They'll probably have to still make a report anyway. Cops will come down, the employee will tell them that I paid for it out of my own pocket. You don't have to press any charges. I'm not pressing charges or anything. You don't have to go after her. I pay for it out of my own pocket. But let her know that if she steals from the store again, I will press charges. That's all you have to do. I understand you pulled out your gun in self-defense. I'm not mad at you about the self-defense, okay? Because if I was in your situation, which I wouldn't have done what you did anyway, but if I was in your situation, I would have done the same damn thing if I had a gun on me. Or if I had a weapon on me. I would have retaliated. You're not going to spray me in the fucking face with a can of Mace and expect me not to defend myself. I'm still going to defend myself. Even if I can't fucking see. I'll just fling my fucking arms around. I don't care. I'll defend myself somehow. But I wouldn't have gone running out into the parking lot to stop people from stealing from the store. If I know that they stole from the store, contact security, contact loss prevention if you have any, or just contact the police. That's all you have to do. If it's something small, like something really, really small, like maybe a few bucks, if you have it on you, pay for it. Help her out. Tell her I'll pay for it this time, but if you do it again, I'm not paying for it again. That's all you have to do. This story pisses me off. On a personal level, this story really fucking pisses me off. My sister, when she was pregnant with my nephews, unless she was lying to me, and I don't believe she was, she never stole from the store. Even when she was pregnant, never stole from the store. Had enough common sense not to do it. I'll admit out of my own mouth, I've had thoughts a few times about shoplifting. I never did it. Because I have enough common sense not to fucking do it. You, being a 7-month-old pregnant woman at the time, put you, your child, your friend, your employee, and everybody else around at risk. Fuck you. And if you somehow see this video, you don't like what I'm saying, I don't give a shit. Fuck you. What, you want to sue me? You want to sue me for speaking my opinion. If you're going to sue me, then sue everybody else that watched this news story on the news too. I'm protected under the First Amendment Constitution of the United States of America that allows freedom of speech. I'm speaking my speech. I'm speaking my freedom. What you did was wrong. What you did was disgusting. What you did was revolting. I have no sympathy for anybody involved in this story. You all can go fuck yourselves. From the woman to her friend to the employee to Walgreens themselves. All of you go fuck yourselves. This is Edge Runner Gaming HD signing out. I just had to come on and talk about this because when I heard this story, it blew my fucking mind. I'm out. Bye, everyone. See you in my next video.